Hello guys, welcome to Daily Current Affairs and Recent Program from Team Enlight. Today we'll be looking at three topics. The first one is Niti Aayog and SDG Index. We'll be looking at what constitutes the SDG Index, which states are the best and worst performers of the recently published SDG Index, and we'll also be looking into some key points regarding Niti Aayog and its initiatives. Then we'll be looking into the news concerning black carbon and how it was accelerating glacial melt in Himalayan and Hindu Kush region. So we'll be looking at the impacts of black carbon and the policy measures taken by government to tackle it. Then we'll be looking at the news regarding Central Vigilance Commission, which said that CBC has come up with norms regarding employment of retired officials. So we'll be looking at the key points of CBC. Okay, so let's get started. First topic is regarding the publication of SDG index as it hasn't come. What we should be knowing is SDG index is primarily used for measuring the performance of states and UTs on SDGs as the targets had been set for 2030. It has been developed, the index has been developed in collaboration with MOCPI, which is nothing but Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Then you have UN, and then you have Global Green Growth Institute. So, although the index is primarily of Niti Aayog, it was developed in collaboration with these institutes. Then you should know that the index estimation is based on data on indicators for the first 16 goals. The best performers as per the recent publication is Kerala, which scored 75 out of 100, and it is followed by Tamil Nadu and Himachal Pradesh. The worst performers are Bihar, Jharkhand, and Assam. You need to know a point about the scoring. A score of 100 indicates that the state has achieved the SDG targets for 2030 as prescribed uh, by Paris Summit. Now, another important thing that has been used is the change in measuring inequality. Inequality is one of the main SDG parameters, and measuring inequality has changed over the years in the SDG index. Inequality initially was primarily calculated using economic factors. So it included Gini coefficient and Palmer ratio, which you can read more about it. It's in news. You just need to know the basics. It's important from the present perspective. However, in the recent index, we have shifted to a focus on social inequality with parameters such as representation of scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, and women in state legislative assemblies, representation in Panchayati Raj institutions, crimes committed against women, SC, ST, etc. So it can be debated regarding which is a better indicator, but we should just know that inequality is measured like this. The current index focuses more on social inequality. Moving on, Niti Aayog. Something about Niti Aayog. It replaced Planning Commission in Jan 2015. It has a governing council, which is headed by a chairperson who is Prime Minister. It has a vice chairperson who is the Minister of Home Affairs. It has a CEO appointed by the Prime Minister. You should also know that the governing council has membership from all the states and includes all the CMs. You can read more about Niti Aayog. I'm just saying the very basic details. Then you should know the important initiatives of Niti Aayog. I'm going into the strategic documents. It has two strategic documents. One is a 15-year roadmap, and the other is a 7-year vision, strategy, and action plan. You should also know that Niti Aayog is involved with various other government initiatives such as those of Amrut, Digital India, Atal Innovation Mission, etc. Okay, you can read more about Niti Aayog and its initiatives because they are important from the prelims perspective. Okay, then we have had a news regarding black carbon. Uh, the news concerns a World Bank report which said that increasing glacier melt, not reducing, increasing glacier melt in HK region, which is basically Himalaya, Karakoram, and Hindu Kush region, is also primarily due to black carbon and can be controlled using strong policies. So we'll be looking at black carbon from the prelims perspective. HKHK mountain regions losing glaciers at a faster pace. It is nothing but Hindu Kush, Himalayan, and Karakoram region. Black carbon is basically an aerosol. It's a solid particle floating in air. It's commonly referred to as soot. It is a resultant of incomplete combustion. You should know that it is the second largest contributor to planet warming after CO2. And unlike other GHG emissions, it is a short-lived pollutant and can be tackled easily. See, other greenhouse gas emissions have a very long life, and there is also the historical contribution factor when it concerns other pollutants, other greenhouse gas emissions. But when it comes to black carbon, it can be easily tackled because it is a short-lived pollutant and it can be easily washed away. So this is another important thing. What are its impacts? Now this is important. One of its primary and most critical impact is that it lowers the albedo. See, albedo is the reflectivity of a surface. When black carbon deposits on a surface for say glaciers or ice cover, it reduces the surface reflectivity of the region. It reduces the albedo, thereby increasing the solar radiation received in the Earth's system. It also raises temperature because it absorbs more solar radiation, thereby increasing the temperature of the air. Because of these properties, it leads to increased glacial melt, which leads to increased disasters in uh, mountainous regions such as flash floods, landslips, and soil erosion, etc. You should also know that black carbon being an aerosol increases the formation of cloud formation and it affects the rainfall patterns surrounding the region. It has various health issues, as has already been documented. It leads to breathing issues in people, and it also has health issues for even unborn babies because of deposition in placenta in pregnant women. So these are the key impacts. Concerning policy measures, we have already seen government taking various measures that can directly affect black carbons. Fuel efficiency standards for vehicles, as in BS standard 6, moving to BS standard 6 can actually help reduce black carbon. Phasing out of diesel vehicles, as suggested by government, promotion of electric vehicles, increasing the adoption of STB stoves, which are much cleaner than biomass burning or other methods used by rural areas primarily, and then upgrading brick kiln technologies that is being increasingly encouraged by government. So all these measures, policy measures, help in reducing black carbon in the atmosphere. Okay, moving on. Okay, the next topic has is about Central Vigilance Commission. It was in news for the new norms that it has suggested for employing retired officials, especially Group A officials. So the new norms suggest that vigilance clearance is required from all previous employer organizations for a retired official wherever he was posted in the last 10 years for him to be employed in any capacity in the government in a government function. That is regarding the news. Regarding CBC, you should know that it was created in 1964 as per the suggestions from Santanam Committee. It is a statutory body since 2003 because of the enactment of CBC Act, and it is primarily responsible to Parliament. Its composition includes a CVC commissioner, CVC, Central Vigilance Commissioner, and not more than two vigilance commissioners as members. It is appointed by President on the recommendation of a committee which comprises of PM, MHA, and LOP. That is Prime Minister, Minister of Home Affairs, and Leader of Opposition. The term of its members is 4 years or 65 years of age, whichever is earlier. You should also know that CVC has no investigation being on its own and it depends on CBI and Chief Vigilance Officers for central organizations. You should also know that CVC has no investigation wing of its own as it depends on CBI and other Chief Vigilance Officers of central organizations. It has other initiatives such as the Vigilance Awareness Week, which was in news, which was themed as Satark Bharat and Samridh Bharat, which basically means Vigilant India and Prosperous India. You should also know that the Vigilance Week falls in the week wherein you have the birthday of Sardar Patel. Okay, so that's all from today. With more news, articles, and exam perspective, we'll meet you tomorrow. Thank you.